an equal number of short and long goals, and goals that aren't too related to one another. With double bingo, you have to complete 2 rows, but with double anti-bingo, the interesting thing here is each player will select a row for the other player. And the anti part of this comes in where normally you'd want to select the fastest one, but since you're selecting one of the rows for your opponent, you want to give them one of the worst rows that you can. So they are off. They do have to do Series Station. This gives them a little bit of time to think about what they're going to do for their own row. It looks like they have both given each other top left, bottom right, which I feel is, yeah, balanced in quotes. The balancing of the SM bingo in particular is quite old. But yeah, so top left, bottom right, they're both forced to do it. You see we have finish in a Shine Spark or Crystal Flash, 35 plus Power Bombs, collect Grapple Beam and skip Charge Beam, defeat Ridley, and skip High Jump Boots. So they will both be forced to do that. This is a very good row for them to force on each other because it has 2 squares that force you to skip items. Particularly skip High Jump Boots, I think, is the more damaging one. It restricts you a lot. And you see, they won't be able to... they will not be able to do row 3 or column 2 because it has a requirement to pick up high jump in it. Skip Charge Beam is going to Serberoth struggling a little with the series elevator room. Skipping Charge Beam is going to make Ridley a bit of a hurdle. It's not too difficult, but they will have to pick up extra ammo, most likely super missiles, to be able to kill Ridley. Kishumo using a moonfall to get down the climb quickly. Oh, hold up. I'm gonna change the colors to match the restream layout in just a second. Okay, I think we should be good now. PBs are definitely an option. They won't have to pick up quite as much ammo because power bombs do damage Ridley, but they don't damage Ridley quite as much as other options. Kishumo seems to be playing pretty well. Like, double anti-bingo especially, I find it hard to play on par with what you'd expect for the other categories, because just having to think about your route can make it difficult to play well. So I'm curious to see what row they're going to choose for themselves, in addition to the force top left, bottom right. The row that they choose themselves, they do not have to announce, and they can change at any time. All that matters is that they clear any additional row, in addition to the one that they've been forced to do. Looks like Serberoth's going for the Criterion map station. Bigger rules state that for the map stations to count, you just have to visit the room. You don't actually have to collect the map. Kishumo's taking damage from the green pirates. You can opt to kill them instead. A lot of the different category routes deviate there based on whether they choose to kill the pirates with missiles and make sure they stay at full health, or whether they just run through them. So the fact that he's running through them suggests that he's probably going to go down Red Tower, because killing them is a good option to save energy if you plan on going up. And Kishumo's grabbing a reserve tank. So he might have that collect X energy tanks and 11 -X reserve tanks on his radar. Or maybe he is not chosen yet. It's possible this early in the race you may not have chosen your additional row, and you could just be keeping your options open. Looks like he's like, you can see he's Kishumo's sitting there for a second. He's thinking about what he wants to do, and it looks like he's gonna grab the Brinstar map station. So hopefully these guys remember not to pick up Charge Beam. You pick it up in almost every category, so it's muscle memory. And he does have to kill all the enemies to get out of here. I think that he may have forgotten. Yeah, I see him hesitating a lot, so I'm unsure if he has actually chosen his other row yet. He still might be keeping his options open. Oh, there's the Brinstar reserve tank as well. I actually didn't notice that. So yeah, my column 3. Actually, column 3 is looking quite good at this point, because 35 super missiles are going to help a lot with Ridley, and Screw Attack is in Lower Warfare. So that may be what he's doing. And he's going for the Spore Spawn skip to get Spore Spawn Super Missile Pack without... oh, he gets it on his last Super Missile. That's good for him. It would have been unfortunate if he missed that. Because it's pretty difficult to get additional supers from drops here. The Zebs are your best bet, and I think they only drop them at a rate of 4%. That's just off the top of my head. So, I think Serberoth went and got his map station as well. Hopefully Kishumo remembers not to grab charge. Yeah, he's good. Wait, I have this backwards, don't I? I'm sorry, I have this backwards. Let me fix that. I'm running both trackers here, so I get a bit confused. So we have... No, Serberoth does have... Hold up. They both don't have criteria map station. Kishumo didn't pick it up. Okay, these should be correct with the colors on the restream now. Hopefully. Okay, so it looks like Kishumo did go up. Planning to get these two power bombs up here, which is a good idea. Both have the reserve. Oh yeah, both have the reserve, you're right. Bear with me here. Serberoth is the only one to have criteria map station, I'm pretty sure. Collect only one? No, it does not include none of them. You have to do one or the other, but not neither and not both. So, Serberoth also got his super missiles from Spore Spawn. The way that that trick works is super missile, or any projectile, will despawn 2 frames after it leaves the screen. So you want to set up the positioning of your shot so that it physically makes contact with the block in one of the 2 frames before it despawns. So that's why your positioning has to be exact. I'm not sure what Kishumo's doing exactly. I swear I saw him go into this room and then leave and then go to the save. I'm not sure if he died and I missed it. But it looks like Serberoth's following him up Red Tower, which is a good decision. They'll be able to get those 2 power bombs. Kishumo not getting the second one. His health situation is really precarious. The side hoppers in the other power bomb room up here do 80 damage. He seems unsure of what to do, so I think he's just farming. And he's probably going to go back for that second power bomb. So we have them both farming at the same time. Got a bit of a high five going in here. Serberoth is about to go get his first pack of power bombs once he's done farming. They are both forced. They have both forced the same diagonal on each other. Yes. Okay, so he's going in. So these guys do 80 damage, so he really did not want to be in a position where he's going to die to them. The large side hoppers have 400 energy, and the power bombs do 200, but they can hit twice. So the power bomb took care of that first one. And He's using another one to hope to dispatch the other two. Seems like they're both having a lot of trouble with the Nom Nom plants. Official name, Samus Eater. Alright, so let's see where these guys go next. I don't think they need... So I don't really think they need gravity, but I do think they are going to want to, at least, yeah, if they plan on doing Column 3, they're going to want to go to the wrecked ship to get the 2 super missile packs that are there. I'll give them 10. Looks like Kishumo's saving, which suggests that he's probably going to do something dangerous, which the wrecked ship at this point certainly qualifies. Alright, looks like he is heading up there. And Serberoth... Serberoth, I have a feeling, might head down, because I think he might be less comfortable with early wrecked ship strategies. Yeah, he's heading down. Okay, so we're seeing divergence of route here, if not row. So the thing about getting to early wrecked ship is it requires you to get across the moat. The easy ways to get across are using grapple beam or doing a shine spark, which these runners don't have access to at the moment. Kishumo's going toward the ship. He might actually be planning on doing an infinite bomb jump to the Criteria power bomb. That would give him 15. But yeah, so they need a way across the moat. The 2 ways to that they'd have available to cross the moat at this time would be to do a horizontal bomb jump from the pillar, which is pretty hard, or a continuous wall jump, which there are a couple setups for. And the continuous wall jump is either a 1 or 2 frame initial jump, depending on how you set it up, followed by... Sorry, it's a frame perfect initial jump, and depending on how you set it up, it's either a 1 or 2 frame wall jump. But if you spin jump past an object, or sorry, if you spin jump over a wall and you're able to wall jump, you're able to wall jump check the other side of it, then you can do so without losing your momentum. So that'll let you go straight across the moat. So I do wonder if Kishumo's going to go do that after he gets this power bomb. He's got to be careful here because this acid will do a lot of damage to him suitless. The spikes will do 60 as well. Alright, he's going for the horizontal bomb jump. Meanwhile, Serberoth has been taking the bottom route towards Kraid. Missed the quick kill, but he's got him down now. Kishumo getting the bomb jump across. And now he's just gotta do limited height jumps across the moat to make sure he doesn't hit his head and fall. So Kishumo is going to be fighting Fantoon shortly. Fantoon, as we've seen in the fast any percent routes and low percent, it's really difficult to survive on one energy tank and no suits. He does 40 damage instead of 20 with the Varia suit. And Kishumo is going to attempt to take care of him using missiles. Gets a medium pattern to start out with. It's not bad. And a fast one. Medium patterns lose 5 seconds over fast one, and slow patterns lose 10 seconds. He's yet to get a slow pattern though. It looks like he's good for a 3-round actually. Yep. Alright. Good fight. Oh, yes. It'll be pretty difficult to get into lower warfare without high jump. Without using a gravity jump. And this is a big thing that skipping high jump boots is going to impact. So the technique to get into lower warfare with no gravity suit, no space jump, things like that, it's called lava dive, and it abuses the fact that in lava, your wall jumps are a lot floatier. And with high jump, it's fairly, I don't want to say easy, it's still fairly dangerous to a newcomer, but it's not too bad to get the hang of. You can wall jump up the Namahe's faces to get into lower warfare. This is done in GT Classic, which is another category featured in this tournament. Kishumo's got his two. He's got his 2 super missiles, and it looks like he was debating going towards the wreck ship energy tank, but looks like he's decided to save first. I think he is still planning on going for it. No, he's not. Okay. I wasn't sure if he'd go for it. It's not in column 3, which is what I think he's doing. But it is in a couple of squares around the board. And 8 energy tanks is also on the board. So Serberoth did the bubble mountain climb, and what he did, because of lack of high jump, was he went into the save room and used it to get some extra running speed. So he'd be able to reach the wall-to-wall jump. It is possible to do a right side climb without high jump, but it's very difficult. And Serb's going to speed booster. Kishumo is about to... Oh. That hit from that shoot. Oh, he's getting destroyed by that shoot. So that shoot does 80 damage, 80 base damage. The suits Varia and Gravity. Varia cuts damage in half, and Gravity quarters it. So by the time that you encounter the more aquatic enemies like the Chutes and Skullteras and Sicers, you're expected to have more suits to take less damage. Kishumo needs this energy to cross the bowling room because he's going to have to take at least 2 hits from the spikes. And him having no suits, the spikes are going to do 60 damage each. And if he messes up, it's very easy to take 3 hits here. So going in with 199 full energy, he's pretty safe. He made it. He's fine. But it's very easy to die in this room. So it looks like Serberoth had a bit of trouble getting towards Wave Beam without high jump. He's got it now. That takes care of a couple of squares for him. And Kishumo picks up Gravity Suit, which is going to help a lot in entering Lower Norfair. So I was talking about the Lava Dive and how it uses floaty wall jumps because of the lava physics. You can still do it with without high jump, but it's very difficult because what it relies on is taking a fireball hit from a Namahe, which is going to do 100 damage if you only have Varia Suit, and using the invincibility frames to climb up the spikes on the left side of the room. And you're going to have to do this before your iframes run out to get high enough to cross over to the right wall to reach the Namahe there. What they can do with Gravity Suit instead is they can do a trick called a gravitation jump, which involves jumping. Well, it involves pausing, and just before the pause fade out is complete, you want to jump and take off Gravity Suit. The change in physics is going to make you jump a lot higher because you decelerate at a much slower rate in liquids. So you abuse the large initial amount of speed you have to jump with regular physics, and you apply a liquid slower deceleration to that to be able to jump much higher. Serb taking care of Croc here. Can be a bit of a scary fight without Charge Beam because you rely solely on your ammo, but he's got a lot of ammo at this point. So yeah, they did force each other to do the same row because this particular row, top left to bottom right, has 2 squares in it that force you to skip things, high jump and charge beam. And high jump in particular makes movement around the planet more difficult. It makes it harder to do certain sequence breaks such as Lava Dive, which I'm assuming they're going to both be getting Gravity Suit for due to the difficulty of doing Lava Dive without high jump. It's a good point from Insane Firebat. He could have destroyed a statue. So they destroy at least one statue goal means defeating at least one of the 4 major bosses, and then actually visiting the Golden 4 statue room and waiting for the statue to be destroyed. And it can be difficult to route that in, but he's pretty sure he's set on not doing any of the rows that involve that. Serberoth getting Grapple Beam as his reward for defeating Crocomire, so that's his center square. He's also got a square in column 1 because of it. I didn't quite catch how many total power bombs Kishumo has. I'm not sure if that's his 4th or 5th power bomb pack. I feel like he had a max of 20 before that. Serberoth actually using intended strats, using the grapple beam on that Ripper to get over to the top left room with the power bomb here. ES4, okay, thank you. But yeah, intended strats, just because of no high jump. It's another thing that shows you how annoying it is. So it's a good choice not only because of that, but also because it locks you out of doing other squares. I mentioned this before, but the high jump, speed booster, and space jump square is not available to either of them, so the rows that intersect it are also not available. So if they happen to be good rows, they'd be locked out of those too. It's a pretty good decision to force a row like that on your opponent. Really limits what they can do. So Kishumo's got 5 power bombs now. I think he has 5 super missile packs as well. So he's infinite bomb jumping up to this door. You can actually do a wall jump off the Giga Pipe to get up here without high jump. Okay, 30 power bombs for Kishumo. Brintstar has quite a lot of them. So he's definitely in the right place. Serberoth going back down the North Fair elevator after just riding up it. I wonder if he did that by accident, or if he realized he wanted something down here. He might be going back for Ice Beam. Unless he already... Oh, no, he didn't get Ice Beam, I don't think. No, he didn't. He didn't make it all the way through the shutter room. I actually wonder if Serberoth intends to skip gravity. He doesn't have to get... doesn't necessarily have to get 35 super missiles if he's not planning on doing column 3. And Ice Beam and Grapple would help him through Seal's already. Actually, I realized he doesn't have Hydra extremely difficult no matter what. Yeah, right, he needs gravity, otherwise he's gonna have to high jump plus lava dive. Not sure if there's any reason he grabbed Ice Beam. Or if he just wanted it to help out. Actually, not having high jump, grabbing Ice Beam is going to make it a lot easier to climb Red Tower. It's really tough to get up the bottom section without high jump. You can't really wall jump up it. Your only other option is to do an extremely difficult short charge to Shine Spark up. Looks like Kishumo really, like, hesitating, stopping all over the place. Not fully sure what he wants to do. I think Serberoth is heading to the wrecked ship now. He's got Grapple Beam, he's got Speed Booster. He's got everything he needs to make it comfortable. Kishumo grabbing Crab Supers. I think he has a max of 30 now. Times like this make me really miss the randomizer changes to the HUD. Or it tells you your max items. Finish and assign. You just do one, yeah. The point of that square is to ensure that you have the resources necessary to do so. So either Speed Booster or the ammo you need to Crystal Flash. Serberoth making sure he has as much running distance as possible to get the short charge towards the wrecked ship. So I think what Kishumo's going to do right now is he's going to clean up all of the stuff that Serberoth did. He may not pick up Wave Beam. I don't think he really needs it. But he will probably pick up Speed. And he's probably going to head straight to Lower Norfair after that. The thing is, neither of them have Charge Beam, so Wave isn't going to help very much with Ridley. So I have a feeling he won't be grabbing it. You destroy a statue by defeating one of the 4 major bosses and then visiting the Golden 4 room that leads to Turian. Fantine looking very, very red for Serberoth. Probably could have supered him a few missiles ago. He's got this fight on lock now. Okay, so Kishumo is skipping Wave Beam. Has no need of it. He's gonna do a Gate Glitch to get to Crocmire's area. Okay, so we see both of them right now. They're doing stuff the other person has done. Kishumo's cleaning up Norfair by doing Crocomire. He's gonna get his grapple beam to get his center square. Serberoth is grabbing the super missiles from Wreck Ship, and now he's gonna head towards gravity. And I think from there, I expect both of them to go down to Lower Norfair. So, Kishumo having 30 supers, the only super missile in Norfair is Golden Teresa's, so he could do the fight just for that super missile, a la RBO. Yeah, it can be pretty tough to figure out who is in the lead in races like this. Serberoth has had a lot more things marked on the card for a long time. But that's just because he's happened to head towards the area with the largest concentration of items and goals on the card. But getting the supers in gravity suit from Wreck Ship is pretty essential to what they want to do. Alright, so Kishumo can just grapple across this room easily. And then we'll see him do the gravitation jump to get into Lower Norfair. Serberoth about to get his gravity suit, and does he still have 10 max power bombs? I don't remember how many power bombs Serberoth has. Oh wow, Kishumo actually going for Lava Spark instead of Gravitation Jump. I'd actually forgotten that was an option, since they do have Speed Booster. I don't really think of the Gravitation Jump as a low percent strat. And this is actually doing a lot of damage to him because he does not have the Varia suit. So he's taking a lot of damage once he unequips his gravity. He's taking heat damage and lava damage at the same time. So Roth's going to have less of an issue with that since he has picked up the Varia suit. So looks like he's actually going. He's gonna go back across. He's gonna do something to fix his energy situation. Crystal flashing was an option, but it can be hard to think of those kinds of things. Alright, Serberoth, Shine Sparking up to the Criteria Power Bomb. That works out to be a bit faster than Kishumo having to infinite bomb jump while he was in the area. But Kishumo's route around the planet has been better overall, and that's mostly due to him being comfortable with doing wreck ship early, whereas Serberoth was not. So Serberoth was kind of working with the skills that he had. Oh wow. Did not get that second wall jump off the Namahe. He's going back, I think. This is this is pretty scary. I don't know if he's saved at all recently. With you know, 2, 3, 4 E-tanks and gravity, there's not too much of a reason to safety save. So he's probably got a lot of progress on the line right now. So the Lava Spark is actually going to do less damage to him than the gravity jump, just because he doesn't have Varia. And yeah, it's a good point that he's not going to necessarily want a Crystal Flash, because he will not have Charge Beam to defeat Ridley with, which means that his ammo is going to be of paramount importance. So I think I'll see what... Oh, never mind. I thought I was going to see what max Powerbomb count Serberoth had once he killed those B-Toms, which are guaranteed Powerbomb drops, but he did not kill them. Which is leaving me a little bit in the dark here. I'm just going to assume he has 20 max. Okay, round 3 on this gravitation jump. Can he get it? Alright, he gets it this time. Immediately re-equips Gravity Seed to stop taking damage. The crazy thing about double anti-bingo in races is it can offset a large difference in skill with good routing, or just a good decision on what row you force on your opponent. Alright, gets the green gate glitch second try. Not much of a worry with the amount of supers that he's picked up so far, but it's definitely tricky. Okay, Kishumo getting screw tech. I think he's pretty much a lock for column 3. Alright, so he's fighting Golden Torizo. This will be quick work with the amount of super missiles he has. So it takes 23 super missiles to kill Golden Torizo. He's going to catch about 1 in every 4 or 5 supers and throw them back at you. He's got grapple beam, so he can easily farm these supers back from the drops from the orbs. Looks like he's not using it, though. That is a nice spread of ammo. So, not really necessary. Would have helped a bit. Having a bit of trouble getting up to GT's super missile because of the lack of high jump. It's actually going to shine spark to it. It's interesting. I don't know if I've ever seen anyone actually get that super missile without high jump before. Serberoth's grabbing a lot of energy tanks. I'm wondering if he's doing so because he wants it for the energy tank square, or because he's anticipating a lot of damage in lower warfare. Could be either, could be both. And he's farming super missiles off these rippers. They're guaranteed super drops. When I say guaranteed, I mean they're 99.6% likely to drop. That is actually just a quirk of how the item drop tables work. It's the only way to enable them to drop energy after you're full on the other item is to have it be the smallest chance possible, which is 0.4%. Okay, so Kishumo is doing the worst room in the game without high jump, and he's killed all the pirates. So this is going to be tricky, or not, depending on how he does it. So it looks like he's going for the wall jump method, which is extremely, extremely precise without high jump boots. I'm not sure if he's done this before, how much experience he has with this. I have been forced to do it in a randomizer once, and it took me about 20 minutes to get it. It's definitely not for the faint of heart. Looks like he's abandoning that in favor of doing an infinite bomb jump. Much easier to do this. Fair bit slower, assuming getting the wall jump first try, but he's gonna get it first try. I don't know well enough to quantify how precise it is, like whether it's actually pixel perfect or not. It might be, I don't know. Also, I have not mentioned this yet, but the graph of your jump height versus distance run when you have speed booster equipped has some oddities in it. Like it's basically a piecewise function. It's got spikes and dips for certain values of run distance, but these are a lot more pronounced when you don't have high jump. So a lot of run distances with speed booster and without high jump can actually cause you to jump lower, which can trip you up in a lot of places. So this actually does happen as well when you do have high jump. And a lot of people don't really talk about this. A lot of people just say it only happens when you don't. It does happen, but for a lot fewer values of run distance. So it's not as prevalent, and it's also not as big of a deal since you have high jump, you have extra height in the first place. But it is an oddity of Speed Booster in general. Alright, so Serberoth is finally back in Norfair. He's got 30 supers, 30 power bombs. Actually, he has 35 power bombs, I think. But he's ready to go to Lower Norfair and finish everything off. Exactly 60. I'm not sure. I don't know the exact values. But there is a... Did someone link an image of the graph? Oh, Static did, okay. I have not actually looked at the graph myself in a while. So without high jump, for each of these like, think of them as checkmark pieces. For each of those checkmark pieces, there's an additional, like there's an entire square worth of I don't know how to describe this in words, but there's another hump. Another like rhombus-shaped hump, basically in the middle of all these check marks. If you don't have high jump. All right, so Kishumo finishing off Ridley with these super missiles, which do double damage to him. Takes 30 to kill him, and he has 35 total. Serberoth, meanwhile, doing the gravitation jump into Lower Norfair. Looks like he's having some trouble with it as well. It looks like he's mainly having trouble with the timing of when to jump in relation to when he pauses. It's not the most intuitive thing if you haven't done it a lot. And he's jumping too early to the pause to be able to get good enough height out of it. Okay, so I disconnected for a little. Looks like Kishumo has finished. He's gotten his Shine Spark off. He's defeated. I think he grabbed that that power bomb pack. Yeah, he grabbed the power bomb pack on the way to Ridley. So he is finished with a time of 59:34. He will be moving into week 4 with the 1. Congratulations to him. So I believe Serberoth is going to be doing this. Just has to get into the lower Norfer and hammer everything out. Serberoth's choice is very likely going to be column 3 as well. So Serberoth's timer actually, unfortunately, he's had power outage. So I think he's doing this race at somebody else's place on a different setup. So that's why he doesn't have a timer up. Oh, he's got very low health right now. If he can just get the green gate glitch and then survive to the energy refill before GT, he'll be okay. Oh, does his normal setup not have a timer? I wasn't aware. He's not going for the refill. He could Crystal Flash. Wouldn't be ideal to do so, but he could do it. I hope he goes back for that refill. Okay, he's going back for it. You can obviously pin Gold Chorizo in the corner, but there's still a risk that you might mess up getting him in the corner, or he might try to sit on you or something. And just like that, he takes damage. So still fairly easy to get hit. He's going to be using grapple to farm his supers back up. He's going to have a bit of a harder time than Kishumo did, shooting straight upwards because he has a wider beam. And, he's missing some supers. And, G2 is actually shooting crescent beams for Serberoth. The Terizos, each have the ability to shoot crescent beams if your current missile count is at least a certain number. For Golden Terizo, that number is 32, and for Bomb Terizo, that number is 5. It's a bit annoying. They won't hit you if you're in the safe spot, but he does not drop orbs to farm while he's doing that. So Serb's farming up his missiles for the Ridley fight. He's also gonna need at least 30 out of his 35. Looks like he's gonna choose to go on without full supers, which is not too bad. He can get some from Zebos, the bees that respawn in the room before Ridley. They have a 40% chance of dropping supers. It's a pretty classic farm spot. I expect Serberoth is going to infinite bomb jump this as well. He's supering the Gold Pirate, even though he has screw attack. And he might have just gotten frustrated with how out of reach it was. Alright, he's made it up. Looks like Kishumo's actually practicing Lava Spark. Since it didn't seem to pay off too much, his attempt of it in this race. But his the name of his save state suggests to me that he's probably learning it in preparation for doing new route any percent. So Serberoth already having 35 power bombs, not going to be picking up power bombs, a shame. He's also supering the Ninja Pirates, which Kishumo had opted to do the Speed Echoes kill on them to avoid wasting his supers. It helps a lot when you need super missiles for Ridley. It is a bit slower to do the Speed Echoes kill, but the ammo saved is usually worth it. It also requires knowing exactly where to stand for it and such. Alright, Serberoth farming up his supers. He's going in with a couple extra. He's got plenty of missiles and power bombs too to back up if he misses a lot. So he should be fine for this. I think he's waiting for Ridley to pogo, so he can very easily get a lot of supers in. Ridley not really cooperating though, doing a lot of swoops. I think he's really concerned about missing. Missed one. I think he missed 3? He might have only missed 2. He might be fine. We'll see if Ridley picks him up. I don't think Ridley's picking him up. I don't think he's dead. Alright, he's not dead. He's gonna have to shoot 6 additional missiles to Ridley. I don't think he's realized. Don't think he's realized yet that Ridley's not dead. Okay, now we're getting the missiles. Now he should be dead. Alright, down he goes. So now Serberoth's just gotta do his Shrine Spark and he's done. Let's see if he does it in the same room that Kishumo did. No, he's gonna go one room over. Alright. Serberoth finishes in 2nd place at a time of 1:14:56. GG. Both gave each other the same row, both finished their own chosen row with the same row. And Serberoth showing off what happens when you have a speed echo reflected by a ninja pirate. Alright, thanks to our runners for the show they put on. Double Anti-Bingo is always interesting to watch. And thanks a lot to Insane Firebat for helping me with the tracking. This was a bit of this was a bit of a mess at first to keep track of on my own. Alright, and I think that's it here. What do we have on later? I had the schedule open at one point. Okay, we have in 2.5 hours, 1 p.m. Eastern, we have Hellborn versus Richmond 3mm on Speed Gaming 2. At 3 p.m. we have Woody versus Strayvaris on Speed Gaming 3. 5 p.m. Actually, we have a lot of races today. We have 5 p.m. Ponk versus Antinomy, also on Speed Gaming 3, following Woody versus Strayvaris. 9 p.m. we have Freya's Spirit versus Nintoaster, restream to be determined. So stay tuned for those. Plenty of other stuff on the other Speed Gaming channels as well. We have a Link to the Past randomizer Key Sanity tournament race just started a little bit ago on Speed Gaming 2. We have Sunshine on Speed Gaming 3. And yeah, I think that'll be it. Thanks for watching, everyone.